Hello and welcome. Today we're going to take a look at the map object in JavaScript. So what is it? Well, the map object was introduced in ES6 and is similar to plain objects in that they are collections of key value pairings, but they allow for keys to be of any type and maintain the order of insertion. So how do we make one? Well, in order to create a map, we'll use the map constructor along with the new keyword to create a new instance of the map object. Awesome. So we have a new object. We can log it and see that it does exist. But how do we add key value pairs to a map? Well, we can do this by using the set method. So the first argument will be the key, and the key can be anything, a string, a number, even an object. And then the second argument is the value. We can do that here by assigning a key of age and a value of 10. And now, if we log the map, we can see that we have a key value pairing in there. Cool. So now how do we get it? Well, we can use the get method to get the specific value. When we're using the get method, we pass in the key as the argument, and if that key exists in the map, then we will get the value associated with it. Awesome. Let's move on to some theoretical questions. You might be asked, how does a map differ from an object? So a map can have any type of key, while objects can only have strings or symbols. Additionally, maps maintain insertion order, which objects originally did not have this capability. Maps have a size property, which makes it easy to know how many key value pairings there are, and maps are optimized for additions and removals of pairs. On to the next one. How can you iterate through a map? So there's a few different ways to do this, but you can use a for each loop or a for of loop to iterate through a map. Lastly, how would you convert a map to an array? You can do this in many different ways, whether it's keys, values, or both. You can use keys, values, or entries methods to return a map iterator object, and then use the spread operator to spread the object into an array. On to some coding questions. Given an array of characters, find the most frequently occurring character. So we can start by first creating a new map. Then let's set a max num variable, and let's set it equal to 0. And then let's get a max char variable and set it to an empty string. Then we'll loop through the array. So we'll start at 0, then we'll go until I is less than the array length, and we'll increment by 1. Now, inside of the loop, we'll have a conditional to check if the map has the item. If it does, we'll set the character key to its current value plus 1. Then we'll have an else statement, and we'll set the value of the character key to be 1. Then we'll iterate through the map using for each, where val and key are parameters. So if the val is greater than the max num, we'll set the max num to the val, and max char will be the key. Finally, outside of the loop, let's return max char. Lastly, you might be asked the question toSum, and that is to return the indices of the two numbers that sum up to the given target. So for starters, I'll make a new map named mapper. And then what we'll do is we'll loop through each element in the array using a for loop. Once I set up that for loop, what we'll do inside of the loop is we'll have a new variable named res. With res, we'll subtract the target from the element at index I in the array. Now, this is where it gets interesting. We're using map to create key value pairs. So what we'll do is we'll set the key for each pair in mapper with the element at index I in the array. And we'll assign it to a value of I, the index value. So we'll be looping, and at each iteration, we'll be adding a key value pairing to the map. However, the key to solve this question is that we will take this res variable, because it is the target minus the element at index I in R, and if that value exists in the map, then we know we've found our pair, And so we'll make an if condition. If mapper has res, then return both the I variable as well as the result of mapper.get res. So for this example, we should be returning the indices 5, 7, which are 6 and 4. Awesome. So that concludes today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to catch you next time.